If you're looking to grow your career within your team, within your organization, you may be wondering, does your boss see you as a leader? Are you somebody who's most likely going to move up in your organization? If you're wondering about that, that's what we're talking about today. Signs that your boss sees you as a leader. I have 5 different signs, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Preston, author of Harness Your Butterflies and creator of the Career Accelerator program. If you are new to the channel, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. I have new videos every Tuesday. And if this video is helpful, drop a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So if you're wondering if your boss does see you as a leader, what are the signs that they might see you as a leader? First, let's talk about defining leadership on your team. You might be thinking, so broadly speaking, you can view leadership in 3 different ways: setting the tone, providing direction, and making things happen. Now, if you're on your team, think about what those 3 things look like in your role. If your boss sees you as a leader, they probably will take advantage of either one or all 3 of those things, 1, 2, or all 3 of those things with you on your team. And it's important to remember that not every leader needs to be a manager. So you can be an individual contributor on your team and still be viewed as a leader. So what are the signs that your boss sees you as a leader? The first thing is you take on difficult projects. If your boss is actively giving you difficult projects, it's probably because they are confident in your ability to actually execute those projects and get those things done. And it's usually because difficult projects take time and skill and actual care to be able to execute them effectively. And if it's a difficult project, a complex project, a project that hasn't gotten done in a while, it's definitely important that your boss is giving it to someone that they trust. If you're seeing this as a sign, how can you take advantage of this particular sign? If you are given a difficult project, it may be your gut instinct to say, I'm not touching that. But if your boss is giving it to you specifically, how you can take advantage of this and almost stand out in a bigger way is to first assess the situation, assess the landscape. What are the things that your boss is looking to get accomplished? Is it just moving the project along? Is there a certain ROI? Is there a certain metric that you need to be tracking? And then once you kind of scope the landscape, come up with a plan and make sure that you're working with your boss to define what are the resources that you need to get this project done and what are the things that you need to pull on your team, whether it's people, resources, money, whatever that looks like, to make sure that this project's getting done effectively. Then communicate that plan to your team, to your boss, to whoever the stakeholders are, to make sure that when you get this difficult project moving forward, that you're not falling short of expectations. If your boss is giving you a difficult project and you fall short of expectations, that's going to be not a good thing when it comes to your boss's view of you being a leader on your team. The second thing, the second sign that your boss views you as a leader is you are the go-to resource on your team. If you're seeing that your boss is turning to you for advice or for guidance or to kind of help other teammates, it's a good sign that they see you as a leader. Typically, the go-to resource is someone who is closely aligned with their supervisor, with the organization. And so if your boss or your supervisor is delegating to you as the support person for a lot of projects or kind of onboarding or things like that, it's a good sign that they see you as a leader. Now, how do you take advantage of this sign? If your boss is turning to you for help, this is your time to shine. Provide your boss with the necessary support or, guidance or resources or whatever that they need to help them accomplish a job. If they're asking you to help out with other teammates, make sure you go out of your way to do that. You want to make sure that you're demonstrating soft skills when you're the go-to resource, because leaders are oftentimes spotlighted when they have really strong soft skills. The third sign that your boss sees you as a leader, you are involved in strategic conversations. If you're being invited to strategic conversations or you're just being kind of a sounding board for those strategic conversations, it's a really good sign that your boss sees you as a leader. Leadership personalities or people that are viewed as leaders are oftentimes seen as influencers within a certain space or within a certain organization. So if your boss is coming to you asking for strategic advice, it's because they see that your influence will be able to permeate throughout your organization and throughout your team, even if you don't have a specific management title. Let's say if you are an individual contributor and your boss sees you as a leader, it's a really good sign that you might have the influence of opinion to say this is how people within the organization are going to take a strategic decision. And it shows that you are willing to think big picture and your boss can recognize that. How do you take advantage of this sign? When you're involved in a strategic conversation, make sure that you're paying attention and taking notes. Make sure that if your boss is asking for your strategic opinion or you're a part of these strategy conversations, make sure that you really think through how all of these are going to impact you specifically, your team specifically, your organization. And you want to make sure that you remove yourself from the bias of your decision making. The biggest thing that leaders do that inspire their teams is when they can think holistically about the organization, about the decision, and not have to worry so much about the personal impact to them specifically. If you're able to provide really good insights and ideas to your boss, they're going to view you as a leader who can make decisions holistically and for the entirety of the organization or the team or the project or whatever you are being viewed as a leader of. The fourth sign is that you have autonomy. If your boss is giving you a lot of freedom to execute your projects, it means A, that they trust you, and B, it means they're comfortable with the work that you can produce. If you've been given a lot of autonomy, a lot of freedom to execute your projects, how do you take advantage of this sign? Make sure that you're very structured about the work that you're doing and making sure that the deliverables and tactics that you've actually been assigned, make sure that you're actually able to execute those. Come up with a plan for what you need support on and what you can contribute to other team members. The biggest thing is if you have the ability to sculpt your role, to sculpt kind of your team or different projects, make sure you're providing adequate feedback and check-ins with your supervisor to make sure that that trust doesn't become eroded or to make sure that they don't start questioning your ability to work independently. And the fifth sign that your boss sees you as a leader is you have access to upper management. Believe it or not every person within organizations has access to upper management. This might be director level, vice president level, CEO level, whatever it looks like. Not every person has the ability to work in front of upper level management. If you are somebody that your boss is putting you intentionally on high profile projects, they're putting you in front of high level management, it's a really good sign that your boss sees you as a leader. And if this is you, if you have seen this, how do you take advantage of this sign? The most obvious thing is to put your best foot forward and to make sure that upper management is seeing the value that you are adding as a leader, as a contributor to the organization, but you also want to make sure that you're putting your boss in a good light too. If your boss is putting you in a position in front of upper level management, you want to make sure that you're acknowledging your supervisor's support. If you have any other signs that your boss sees you as a leader, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. Or if you have anything else that you would add to this video, again, let me know in the comments below. With that, that's all I have for this video. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, drop a thumbs up if this video was helpful. I have new videos every Tuesday, so I'll see you on the next one.